Hello, hola, and guten Tag, everyone. We're back for another episode of Launch Coach Football. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chelsea.
Yep, and we both decided to wear white today. But no, it's been we here in championship. The championship game is just 3 days away. It's gonna be, one team everyone expects to win easily. The other team expects to be a slugfest. But before all that, we gotta talk about the underdogs, not even the underdogs, the forgotten teams that are no longer playing, and their search and departure of form of coaches. And nothing's bigger
Lot of
than
movement.
a lot of it's like Black Monday doesn't even exist anymore. It technically does, but like we've had like two firings during the season. Then we have firings after a team loses in playoffs, and then they either fire or the coach resigns with Tomlin, and now Sean McDermott with the Buffalo Bills. You always have like and Black Monday exists and just it's just when
Now
people
it's Black January.
it's that no, it's just like you're just fired. A coach just has to win within 3 or 4 years or you're getting out. Um Do that correct, but in their defense, in the Buffalo Bills' defense, because they did just fire Sean McDermott, I think it was. I have no problem with it because I feel like after so many postseason losses and heartbreaking losses, it's the same with Harbaugh. Sometimes you just need to do voice room. What I don't get is keeping just I just don't get why not they not just clear house with the general manager too. They promoted him. He built the roster. He built the roster that, for whatever reason, decides to give Josh Allen no weapons on offense, no top flight receivers on offense. And you said before that Buffalo Bills fans were reacting to this, and I can't imagine how they feel with firing the coach and keeping the GM.
Yeah. I don't know much about Brandon Bean. Just not super familiar with the front office of the Buffalo Bills,
He is not related to Billy Bean. I do know that.
but from what I saw on Bill's Instagram and Bill's Twitter and Bill's subreddits, they did not seem particularly pleased. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Giants, firing Dable and keeping Shane.
Mm.
Kind of giving me, throwback to that. Like I said, I don't know a lot about him, but it does make you wonder why they would promote someone that has been drafting busts, most notably Keon Coleman, who was supposed to be Josh Allen, receiver one, who has not been and has severely underperformed. He's been great at drafting tight ends. I think their tight ends are good, and James Cook was a great find. But outside of that, their offense leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, just throwing it back to the legendary game that happened between the Bills and the Texans, where the Texans sacked Josh Allen 8 times, which, in fairness, they have one of the best front sevens in football. So I'll grant them that. But 8 times? I still can't get over that. That was like 5 weeks ago at this point. That was so crazy. Like I cannot get over that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting decision keeping the GM. Doesn't seem like a good decision from my limited view, but I guess only time will tell. Hopefully they go out and take another wide receiver one for Josh Allen because he needs it bad.
Oh, they get that's something I saw people saying this past weekend of the Texans and the Bills are two teams that AJ Brown might like should make a request for AJ Brown because AJ Brown
AJ Brown would be fire on the Bills, dude.
I can't imagine
Holy cow.
even with everything going on between AJ Brown and the Eagles. A, I'll be surprised if they still trade him unless it gets just so
Me too.
toxic. But B, if they trade him, would they want to trade him to a team they might see? And they're not going to trade him individually, but we trade him to a team that's going to like seriously is already in the position to compete for a championship.
So you're telling me you're predicting they're going to trade him to the Browns?
If you trade him to a Browns and should do us any kind of good, that's another team that's going to compete for a championship.
No, I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, I feel like as long as they trade him outside of the NFC, what's going to happen in the AFC is going to happen. Tell you what, you want an example of a great GM? Probably the best GM in football. It's got to be Howie Roseman. I don't know if
Yeah.
that dude has missed on a draft pick in the last 2 or 3 years, at least in the first 2 to 4 rounds. He's just an incredible drafter. It's very interesting seeing everything that's gone down with AJ Brown. I wouldn't think they would move him, but I mean, if he threatens to hold out, what are you gonna do? You might as well get something for him. He would be fire on the Bills. And he would be really good on the Texans because once they get Nico Collins back, him and Nico Collins would be crazy because they're both bona fide wide receiver
That would be
ones. And then
that
you
would,
throw Tank Dell back in there. Whew.
if he goes on Texans, that's immediately becomes the best receiving duo in football
Yeah, can we not
over Puka and the
just as a can we not? Like I already had him traded out of my division. Like can we not trade him back? Like is
and
that too much to
we're gonna
ask?
bring him back.
Can we not? Maybe just trade him to the Colts. I mean, if we're going to trade him back in the division, I mean, we might as well trade him to someone we like, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then he can get mad at whoever's the quarterback at the Colts, Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones coming off a torn Achilles.
Probably is going to be Daniel Jones again, but that's a storyline for another day, I guess.
Yeah, let's go talk about more like from one firing to a couple hirings. Um, Harbaugh is now on the Giants, which I think people 5 years, 100 million, which make your bread, son. But I don't think that people were very surprised about. I feel like when he got fired, the Giants were always going to be the top spot. I know Matthew was jumping off the wall. He was so happy getting Harbaugh so much, and my
I
brother
was too. I was happy for the Giants. I'm not even a Giants fan. It's a
and my
great hire for the Giants. I mean, probably the biggest home run they've had in regards to hiring in since Tom Coughlin. I mean,
oh wow, I guess you
pretty
say
crazy.
Dayball was a big home run. It was good for about a year, and then everything went down.
But he never had the pedigree that
No,
Harbaugh has.
no,
In
no.
regards to pedigree and experience, I mean, could it be argued this is the best coaching hire in franchise history? I mean,
Yeah, maybe, possibly, and for Giants franchise, probably. Um, a lot of people thought Belichick was going to go there last year, but he chose something else. Belichick had a lot of ties to the Giants, but he wanted to go to college with Jordan. Um,
so tying it back to the Bills, obviously
Belichick.
Harbaugh got confirmed, to the Giants before McDermott got fired. Do you think Harbaugh regrets that? Like, do you think he's watching the Bills position open and being like, well, this is awkward?
I think he regrets that, and both Stefanski going to Atlanta, which again is a really great hire for Atlanta. I think they're both
It is a great hire for Atlanta.
we couldn't get this news 48 hours ago. Like,
Right.
do you know how happy they would have been if they had Josh Allen as the centerpiece? Like, awesome. Because Harbaugh still has, like, Jackson Dart is not, in my opinion, still proven yet. We don't know how
Yeah.
Scatterboo or Malik Neighbors comes back from their serious leg injuries. And they're still in the division with the Eagles, Washington, and Dallas. So I still think they're the fourth best team in that division. And same thing with Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta is up there with Carolina. I don't think the Atlanta's up there with Tampa. I don't think the Atlanta's up
Hey,
there
they all
with
finished
New
with the same
Orleans.
division record, though. They all finished with the same record. So can we really say they're not up there with them? Because
That division is stupid.
it is stupid. But that's what I was thinking when McDermott got fired, which, there's mixed reaction on McDermott. Some Bills fans are like, he's the best coach we've had in years. Why would you fire him? And some people are like, please fire him. This is kind of a mixed reaction. Personally, I mean, I know he was the DC on the Panthers for a while because I've had some Panthers fans tell me, like, we would take him back as our DC. I think he's a good DC. I don't think he was ever a spectacular head coach necessarily. So I wasn't particularly surprised that he got fired. And honestly, to some degree, he probably deserved it. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying Josh Allen got his head coach fired, which that's a fair point. But if you look at, McDermott's entire body of work, like he hasn't won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So it's like, it didn't really shock me. Yeah, Stefanski and Harbaugh, I just wonder if they're like in their brand new offices in New York City and Atlanta, just like, this is awkward.
Just,
Should have included a void in my contract because
just no, you should put Bill Belichick like he did with the Jets. Just resign on napkin a day later.
oh, dude,
That's
one of
hilarious.
many reasons that I don't like Bill Belichick.
But you was mentioning the Panthers defensive coordinator. He is one of the several people that the Pittsburgh Steelers have saw to interview or have interviewed already for their head coaching vacancy. Let me just run down a list of all the teams, all the
Can I say good
coordinators.
or bad if I like them or no?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. No, yeah, do
Okay.
that. Every time I'm going to say your name and say good or bad. And this is courtesy of Steel City Underground. Um, First is the Panthers defensive coordinator, Ejiro Ibero. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs
I'm
sideways.
gonna go down for a head coach, but I think he's a good DC.
Okay. Brian Flores, DC of Vikings.
Good.
I feel like he's just Mike Tomlin. He's just Tomlin but meaner.
And angrier and younger.
Yeah, he's just an angrier, younger version of Mike Tomlin. And you know what? That'll be fine.
Yeah.
You got Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator.
I know he's one of the emerging head coaching candidates.
But you don't
Eh,
see it. Or you're just
he's
mad.
yeah, I think the Steelers need an offensive head coach, but
Oh, speaking of that, you got Clay Kubiak, I believe son of Jeff Kubiak, the 49ers OC.
yeah, I mean, can't really argue about what their offense has done this year with, limited resources. So that'd be a very interesting non-Pittsburgh hire. A young, offensive-minded, doesn't scream at people. Um, that would be interesting. I'll
Why
give
the
that a
why the heck did I say Jeff Kubiak? It's Gary Kubiak.
oh, yeah. I
Who
knew what
the
you were
like,
saying.
yeah. And then Mike McCarthy, the former Packers,
No.
and thank you so much. Everyone like Matthew and everyone in this thing group chat like, oh, that could be something. I said, no, that's just the same person, but just fatter.
He doesn't have the fire. A Steelers head coach needs the passion and the fire. And he's never really been that guy. I mean, not to say he hasn't had a successful coaching career because he obviously has in certain respects, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I feel like you guys need someone younger and more fiery.
I just feel like Mike McCarthy, he's just Mike Tomlin without melanin and plus 30 pounds. It's the same
Without
exact,
melanin, I'm done.
it's the same coach. And I
Yeah.
like, and you know what? At that point, I said, why even fire Tomlin at that point? You just go bring in McCarthy. Anyway, back to the next
At
people.
least Flores has some fire. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And not to say Tomlin didn't have that, because he obviously did. But Flores brings a different kind of fire, a different kind of intensity. I just don't get that from McCarthy.
Anyway, moving on. Um, Jesse
He's very
Mitt.
passionate about that one, if you guys couldn't tell.
I just don't know why you're just Jesse Mittner, Mittner, the Chargers defensive coordinator.
The Chargers had a very good defense. So that would be interesting.
Chris Shula, the Rams DC.
Also, a very good defense. He's one of the hottest coaching candidates right now
Oh
that
yeah.
is going around, especially for younger guys. First time really depends on if you want experience or if you want someone new on the scene with new ideas. But I think he could be interesting too.
Then we got I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Nate Shell Hasso, the Rams passing out game coordinator.
That's an
Chalasso.
interesting one.
Yes, this is the first one that's not like an OC or a former or DC or a former head coach.
I'd
So,
probably say no just because I'd want more experience.
and the last one is Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins defensive coordinator, who has some
No.
I'd say he has some pedigree, but he also the Dolphins were not that good this year.
They're the Dolphins.
I think
Though
that
I
was
will say,
that.
Mike McDaniel, I don't think Bro should get hired as a head coach. He would be a phenomenal OC.
Oh no, easy. I think Mike McDaniel would be a perfect OC anywhere. I still think he has some head coaching potential, but I don't think he's gonna get a job in this curtain run,
I just think
current
he
run.
needs more experience.
But yeah, that's the Steelers' hope.
Interesting. It's a mixed bag.
It's very much they still have a classic old school Steelers mentality because they only have one offensive coach in that way, and they don't have a quarter.
Kubiak,
Kubiak's the only one that's the offensive coach. Well, Kubiak and the Rams passing game coordinator.
that's interesting. That's probably the strangest one on the list.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's just because anyone who's six, like 1, 2 degrees off of McVay or Shanahan, they're just going to like say, "Give me, give me, give me."
That's
But
fair.
I think if I'm a betting man, then I go pick shoot. I think the three candidates I think that I'll probably take is either Shula, Weaver, or Flores.
I think it's going to be Flores.
But I don't think. But each step they're not looking really for offense, and and it's weird because you don't have a quarterback. I don't think Rodgers. I think they're saying he's not coming back. I'm not sure if he's retired officially or not, but I doubt he comes back.
Probably not.
You still, I guess, because you invest so much money on the defensive side of the ball, you want to get someone who can get the most out of it. But even then, you're still going to have to score points. Who's going to be the quarterback next year? Is it going to be Will Howard, a sixth-round draft pick from what is it, Oklahoma or whatever,
Ohio State.
Ohio State that they
Mm-hmm.
got last year? Is it going to be? Are they going to go after like the Kyler Murrays or? Oh, you know what? Get
Can I
Tua.
interest you in Anthony Richardson?
You cannot get Tua
Dang.
and then hire Brian Flores just for the job.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I think of all of those candidates, the one that you guys probably need the most is Kubiak
Yeah,
because you need a resurgence in that offense. Like you need new ideas, you need new energy, like you need new schemes, like you need some kind of switch up in that offense. I understand wanting to get someone who's really good defensively because your guys' defense underperformed for most of the season. So
yeah.
obviously you want to bring the best out of them. Why not hire Flores as the DC and Kubiak as the head coach?
Well, you just
Like
think.
why not take one of those defensive guys, plug him in at DC, and then hire an offensive guy for your head coach?
Well, why would Flores want to just be a DC someone else, some to a worse team? I'm not gonna say
Where's he at DC now? The
Minnesota.
Vikings?
But I'm not gonna say a worse team, but yeah, I feel like going from the Vikings to Steelers is basically just an even line at this point.
Steelers have more pedigree though. And there's probably a track to get hired as a head coach if their hire this year doesn't work out.
I feel like Pedigree though, it's like they like people know Flores is a great defensive coach. They know they even if he goes to Pittsburgh or Minnesota or wherever, people are going to know that of him. I just don't understand, and I get maybe it's just the idea that you paid so much money in your defense. This is the biggest investment of your team. You really can't move anyone at this point without taking a big hit in cap wise. So let's get a D coordinator to try to win defensively. It's one of those things where like you fire Tomlin, want to get something new, but you're not really getting something that new if you're just going to get Tomlin light or Tomlin younger or Tomlin meaner or Tomlin is
And
is
we should also
younger.
acknowledge that Flores has not exactly had the best head coaching career either.
I feel like he got the most out of those Dolphins teams though. I
Yeah,
think
I mean, perfect tenure, but he had good and bad, for sure.
he's definitely been a great coordinator with the Vikings. I feel like the Vikings, his
Yeah.
time in Minnesota has helped him get back
Hmm.
on track to become a potential coach.
I
Kubiak,
agree.
Kubiak and Shula have both the pedigree of their names and the fact they've been great coordinators. McCartney, I guess, has the pedigree of just winning a Super Bowl before in the past. Uh,
One.
it's still win. It's still won.
Well, I was saying that in regards to you being angry about it. A Super Bowl. A Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
If they get McCartney, I might just like that might be
They get Aaron Rodgers might come back.
no, he won't. They did not get along.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I was surprised. Like, I know this is like going back, but there's talk that Matt Floyd was going to get fired. Now they're working on a contract extension for him, if not already signed. In the back of my mind, like, if they're dumb enough to let Matt Flores go, the Steelers need to jump on him and potentially run Rodgers back one more year, potentially just to try to get a quarterback in the draft and to give a year to sit behind them.
Yeah.
I just looked at the coaching hires and coaching and like what they're searching, just like you really don't want to change that much, do you? You just want to
Yeah,
stay with the old
I
defensive
agree.
game plan. They've only
It
had
just,
defensive coaches,
yeah, it feels like they're going to hire Flores, which
which
would
I'll be
be
fine with.
a very Steelers head coach hire, I think. I think he's a good DC. I'll be interested to see how his next coaching tenure goes as a head coach. But is your OC, is it still Arthur Smith or is
I
it someone else?
I believe Smith he did. I think technically it's still Smith, but like I think people are trying to talk to him about potential OC or head coaches jobs.
Really?
If he goes, I don't care. I
Yeah.
really do
I'm
not
saying
care.
you should
He was
hire
not that
Flores as your
impressive.
head coach and then you should fire Arthur Smith as your OC and you should bring in like the Shula guy, the past game coordinator from the Rams.
As
Take
a
him up from that to an OC and then have him run the offense. I think that would be interesting. I wouldn't only bring in Flores, for instance, and then no offense.
No, no, like, do you think Bieniemy would come back to the NFL though? Because Bieniemy is always he's always like the outside looking in. Because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 years ago he was like a big time head coaching candidate, and then people figured, oh, it's just Mahomes being Mahomes magic. And then after the Chiefs have struggled offensively for the past few years, like, oh no, Bieniemy actually,
Oh,
oh, the guy that was coaching him had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's true. Have you guys talked to Lou Anarumo?
No, not to my
Okay.
knowledge.
He's the Colts DC. He is in the running for the Titans head coaching job and someone else. So I just didn't know if you guys were looking at defensive coaches. I didn't know that if you had looked at him or not. Um, he used
Why
to be the DC of the Bengals.
why would the Titans?
I
The,
don't know
the Titans
because
have
they're not very smart.
they have a young rookie quarterback that just
I don't
struggled
know,
all
dude.
year.
They're the Titans. There's really no other explanation. But I'm saying so. Apparently, kind of in regards to coaches, our OC, the Colts OC, his name is Jim Bob Cooter. Yes, that is his real name. He is getting interviewed by the Eagles, apparently, which would make sense because, as many people don't realize, Sirianni used to be on the Colts head coaching staff, and he coached with Jim Bob Cooter. Okay, so there is a chance that we lose both our OC and our DC this coaching offseason. If we lose our OC, give me McDermott, please, 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 or Flores or someone, because man,
Usually teams win a Super Bowl then lose their coordinators. Y'all didn't even make the playoffs and y'all losing your coordinators. That's disappointing.
I know, dude. Don't get me started.
But anyway, let's stop talking about the painful, stressful NFL of searching for coaches and the coordinators for our favorite teams, and get back to what we're all here for, to know who's gonna go in the Super Bowl between the Denver Broncos, New England Patriots for the first game, and then the Rams and Seattle for the second game. Chelsea, is there any chance that the Broncos pull off the upset, pull off the miracle, and somehow even well, it makes sense they're home, but they're underdogs at home, but New England doesn't have a good history of winning in Foxborough. They struggle, Foxborough, winning in Denver. They've struggled throughout the entire time playing the Denver Broncos in the playoffs.
If the Broncos are going to win this game, they're going to need a defensive score to win, in my
Multiple,
opinion.
multiple probably.
Probably at least one. That they're going to need a pick six, fumble recovery, a blocked punt on special teams, a punt return. They're going to need touchdowns that don't come from their offense to win this game, in my opinion. And I just don't think the likelihood of that is very high. I don't see Stidham going out and playing terribly. Like I could see him throwing an interception maybe and having, 50 or 60% completion percentage maybe. I don't think he's going to play bad. I just don't think he has the it factor to get it done if it's a close game. So I personally don't see them winning this game unless they get scores that don't come from their offense. Now, if they get a pick six and a kick return, okay, they might. But it's not like Bo Nix is going to come back for the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I don't see it happening personally.
That's
As much
great.
as it pains me to pick the Patriots, trust me, I don't want to pick them. But I just don't see it happening without Bo Nix.
Well, first of all,
Even with Sean Payton, I
well,
just
well, first of all, good alliteration right there. Um, is
thank
it
you.
is it crazy that I'm trying to find a reason to pick the Broncos, and I'm finding some of them, but I love their defense.
Me too.
I love seeing and not just I love the defense. I love the fact that the Drake May has looked bad against San Diego. San Diego. I'm always gonna call them San Diego's. Okay, Launch Coast football audience. I'm sorry, they're always gonna be the San Diego Chargers for me. Same way Heinz Field's always gonna be Heinz Field.
Heinz Field is never, what is it called now? It's like Lumen. No,
it's
that's
it's called
Seattle.
it's called a stadium formerly known as Heinz Field, like Prince.
Yeah, seriously. What Steelers fan is going to be like, you know where we should go catch a Steelers game? This new field. No, no one is going to say that. They're going to say Heinz Field. Let's be honest
They're
with
gonna say the
ourselves.
ketchup bottle, but
Come on,
it's
man.
but again, I like the fact that no, I don't like the fact. I don't quote unquote like it, but May has struggled in both postseason games. He's struggled against elite defenses, and they basically New England has won because they've seen terrible quarterback play.
That's true.
Stroud and Herbert were awful, and
They were.
I don't see Sean Payton making a game plan that doesn't at least hide Stidham's inefficiencies and
I agree.
enhance at least some of the aspects of his game. I love the fact that the game's gonna be in Denver. I don't think Drake May's gonna show out. I don't think Drake May's gonna have an MVP game. It's crazy.
It comes down to Stidham. If both of the defenses are good, what's your rule, Daniel? If the teams are about equal, you pick the better quarterback. Are you really picking Stidham over Drake May? Think about that.
I'm
Say that out loud.
no, no, you can't. I guess you're right. Because
That is your rule after
that
all.
no,
I mean, I'm just reiterating it.
it is my rule. But the thing is, I didn't think Buffalo was equal to Denver last week. I thought Buffalo. I think Denver. I thought Denver was clearly better, and I was technically right in that regards. These are two teams that Denver's defense is really good, but New England also.
Patriots is no
Yeah,
slouch,
that's the
though.
thing. New England also has a very good defense. That's the thing why I had to say it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be like a 20-17 game, or even like a 17-16 game.
It's going to
But
be a close game.
but it's going to be New England. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. A lot of people are like, oh, it's over. Denver's defense is not going to let a blowout happen.
I agree.
Sean Payton's not going to let a blowout happen. I think Denver fights, but I think Drake May just does one or two things at the end of the game. Because May has looked good at times. It's just he has not looked good for an extended period of time in both his postseason games this year. I say 17-16 New England, with the caveat that Stidham, I don't think he's still a veteran. He's still going to put. He's not going to be as bad as Stroud or Herbert. It's hard to be that bad, but I still think
Poor Stroud and Herbert.
poor Texans and Chargers fans. You guys thought you had elite young quarterbacks. Like, nah. Yeah, I got Andy Dalton's. Yeah, I just got different versions of Andy Dalton. But yeah, it's been a great season in Denver. But I think New England finally gets the win up there because again, New England struggles in Denver for not some reason. Denver's a good franchise.
I'll tell you what, though, if they had Bo Nix, I'd be taking the Broncos.
Oh yeah, hands down, easily. I saw Denver. I feel so bad for Denver. I think they were the best. I think they are the best team in the AFC at this point.
I
I think
agree.
I think the fact is that Bo Nix answered a lot of questions this season, especially this last game against Buffalo. And I think
Yep.
going to next year, if they can get themselves maybe one good receiver, one good pass catcher, and maybe a solid running back, I think Denver. I honestly think Denver's going to be the favorite coming out of the AFC next year. That's Bo Nix ain't walking through that door, and neither is Philip Rivers, any of the Mannings, Tom Brady, or Big Ben.
Probably not.
Maybe Drew Brees. Maybe Sean Payton calls Drew Brees like, you got one more in you.
Hey, hear me out, hear me out. Yeah, no, I'm gonna take the Patriots too, as much as it pains me. I do think that the Broncos have a better defense, though not the Texans, the Patriots are no slouch. I mean, they were top 10 defense this year. The
Yeah,
Broncos were probably a top 3 defense, but they're not, some mediocre defense. Like they are a good defense. So full credit to them. Like I said, I think the only way that the Broncos really have a chance of winning this game is if they get a touchdown that doesn't come from their offense.
yeah. They have to go full like what's it, air raid defense,
Yeah.
dominate completely.
They're
So
going to
who?
need a special teams play, a pick six, something of that nature. I just don't see that happening with a well-disciplined Mike Vrabel team. But I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll probably be a more of a defensive game because, Stidham will be in there and the Broncos defense is so good, maybe like 2017 or 2014 Patriots over the Broncos.
So what's going to be a Super Bowl rematch? Is it going to see Patriots versus Rams like we saw twice, or are you going to see Patriots versus Seattle, which we saw once? In every situation, the Patriots won, unfortunately, but these might be Seattle and the Rams might be the two best teams in football, arguably. They're definitely two best teams in
I
the
agree.
NFC.
I think both of them are
Who
better.
ta who takes it?
Even the Patriots and the Broncos at full strength. They're better than them with Bo Nix, in my opinion.
It's close. I think, I think
Offensive
we got to
weapons wise, they are.
no easy. Yes, offensively,
Yeah.
yes. I love, but out of all of them, I think the Rams have a decent defense, but I think they have clearly the worst defense out of the four. I think if Bo
Yeah,
Nix
I
was
agree.
playing, I think them and Seattle would be about even for the best team in football. Because the biggest question for both of them is, do we trust the quarterback? And I guess weapons wise, Seattle has better weapons, but it also comes down to, can the quarterback really make a play? And both quarterbacks have made plays. But even that, let's focus on Seattle and the Rams.
I think Seattle has the better team because I think that Cup and Smith and Jigba are both better than Sutton. I think that Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet are both better than any running back
Yeah,
that the
but
Broncos have.
Charbonnet's not playing though.
I know, but I'm saying if he were healthy, I
Yeah.
would still say that. But in regards to, and the crazy thing about it is saying that the Rams have the fourth worst defense out of the four remaining teams, they were still a top 10 defense or fringe top 10. So that should tell you how good the other defenses are. I mean, in my opinion, it is Seattle number one, and then it's the Broncos, and then it's the Patriots, and then it's the Rams. But all of them are top 10 defenses. So, I mean, you could argue that they're all about the same. At least the bottom three, I think Seattle is the best, personally. In this game, I've loved the Rams all year. I've loved what they've been doing. I've loved what they've done on offense. Their defense has been so impressive to me after they lost Aaron Donald to retirement and had no first round picks for so many years. Everyone thought they were cooked. And look at them now. They're in the NFC Championship. So more power to them. Seattle is like a freight train right now.
Yeah.
And it's at Seattle. I don't see the Rams winning this game. Now, I think they could make the game competitive, especially if Sam Darnold makes some mistakes, keeps the Rams in this game. I think it could be a competitive game. But if Sam Darnold plays a mostly mistake-free game, yeah, I got Seattle by a touchdown probably or 10 points.
I I can't judge Seattle based off the divisional round because San Francisco were playing with their practice squad at that
Oh, I'm
point.
not. I'm just looking at their entire body of
No,
work
no,
this
no.
season.
I agree the entire body of work, but like we're also somewhat judging on how what we last saw them, what we saw them with Chicago almost winning against St. Louis. Again, they're going to be St. Louis Rams in my book. Seattle dominating San Francisco and the Rams almost losing to Chicago.
That's true. That's a fair point. I mean, the Rams have a good
Mhm.
offense. Seattle's just locked in right now. I mean, the kick return on the first play of the game, Shaheed has changed that team, man. He's so
Oh,
good.
yeah, that might have been the loudest I saw. I remember a television getting in my house, and it wasn't even on that loud. It's just it exploded. Just the way everyone reacted to that was crazy.
The 12th man, they've always been there. They've just been dormant since the Legion of Boom, but they're back now.
And you know what? Because of that, I'm not picking Seattle. I'm picking the Rams. Yeah, I think in spite of all that, I still, again, you give me two even teams, two teams on par with each other. I'm picking a team with the best quarterback, and I give Sam Darnold credit. I don't think you can say like he sees ghosts anymore, that he's not performing the big time anymore. He's
At least
played,
not this year, outside of that one game.
yeah, yeah, but like I'm sorry, Matthew Stafford is the MVP for a reason. He's consistently looked like the best quarterback in the NFL for most of the year, if not all the year, or the entire season. I still have two of the best receiving duo in football. I still have Kyron Williams. I still have probably the best offensive, not even offense, probably the best coach in terms of the past what 5, 10 years in Sean McVay. It's either him or Andy Reid at this point. Um, and that's not to take anything away from Seattle. Seattle, to me, this is a matchup between the two best teams right now. Denver maybe could be part of this if Bo Nix was healthy, but he's not. But these have been the two best teams for basically right now and for most of the season, honestly. So give me two even teams. I'm taking a team with a bad quarterback. Give me Matthew Stafford going to his second Super Bowl and securing his legacy in busting Canton.
Here's my thing, though. I don't think the teams are equal.
You
Like,
really
I
don't think?
think Seattle's defense is definitely better. And that's not
Oh,
to say the Rams' defense is not good, because it is. I just think Seattle's defense is just better.
so you think this is like my thing last week with the Bills and Broncos? You just think these are two unequal teams.
I mean, unequal might be a little bit of a stretch. I just think Seattle's defense is better. And I think that they
Mhm.
might be good enough to neutralize Stafford to some degree. I don't think you're going to fully shut him down. But I mean, look what the Bears did against Puka. I mean, the Bears defense was supposed to be horrible, and they held the Rams to under 20 points for most of the game. And Puka, it's not like he had a legendary game. I mean, Puka had
He did make the big.
six rushes, two rushes for 6 yards, and five catches for 56 yards and no touchdowns. That's a bad game for Puka against
Yeah.
seemingly a bad Bears defense. I mean, you know that they're going to put their best corner on Puka. Their pass rush is crazy. I don't know. I don't think I can pick against that defense.
Well, we're going to see in a few days because This season's coming. We got 3 more games
Can't
left this
believe the
season.
season's almost over. This is so sad.
I still remember Aaron Rodgers against the Jets in that fun week 1 game and thinking, yeah, we're back. No, we
I
weren't back.
remember having hope,
But it's coming, like all good things, it must come to an end, just like this podcast right
like my
now.
hope.
Jesus Christ. Chelsea, tell us where you can find us and just take an antidepressant.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us, guys. Tune back in next week where we will recap the conference championship games on Tuesday. In the meantime, follow us on social media. We are on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football, on Twitter/X at Launch Codes FB. And if you are interested in joining our chat room on Chat BCC to talk all things football during the conference championship weekend, hit us up on one of our other socials or send us a text and we can get you that link. I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel.
and we will see you next week.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
See ya.